now cross over to Fola Aina, an international security and development policy expert and a doctoral fellow at the African Leadership Center, King's College in London. Thank you very much, Fola, for joining us. There are fears that state authorities are making this situation worse by letting kidnappers go unpunished and paying them off to release their captives. What are your thoughts on this?
Thank you very much for having me. Well, I think the major problem is the fact that the response in the region, the northwestern region that has been ravaged by these acts of armed banditry, is somewhat uncoordinated. And so the fact that some of the governors or some of the state authorities within the region are willing to engage with these bandits and some aren't makes the situation a bit complicated. But by actually paying ransom, even though most of them deny that they do pay these sums, they give the impression that the armed bandits could be emboldened. And so by emboldening them in this way, they tend to come back to keep, perpetuating the acts that they are carrying out in the region. And doing that is also a reflection of the fact that some of these states are very weak. And so there's an argument about the fact that the monies that would have been used to pay these bandits could otherwise have been used, to provide for or address some of the socio-economic conditions in the region that has helped to perpetuate, these acts of terrorism. So rather than paying the bandits, these sums of money, why not invest this money in socio-economic, initiatives that helps to address some of the underlying triggers of the violence we're beginning to witness, that's become more endemic in the region.
Right, and Thursday night's kidnapping is the fourth since December. Listening to our correspondent describe how it happened, where it happened, smack in the heart of the city, and he says in front of one of the biggest military zones in that region. Do you think there's a lapse in security? And also, what steps should Nigeria take to improve security in those affected areas?
Oh, yes. So this is clearly a reflection of a lapse in security. The Kaduna State government just this week released its annual security report. And in that annual security report that covered the period of year 2020, it was revealed that bandits had killed a total of 937 persons in Kaduna State and kidnapped 1,972 people alone in the span of just 1 year. Also, considering the concerns in the region, in Zamfara State, which is also in the region, the federal government has announced plans to deploy an additional 6,000 troops, to try to contain the growing insecurity condition caused by bandits. This is also taking into fact that there are at least over 30,000 armed bandits in the region, according to the Zamfara State governor. So yes, definitely, this is a clear indication of a serious security situation. But beyond all of this, I would say that a more pragmatic approach is an approach that is reflective of a multi-layered, response to the crisis. So on the one hand, addressing the kinetic measures, and on the other hand, addressing the non-kinetic measures. So things like the socio-economic conditions, taking into account issues of poverty, unemployment, lack of jobs, lack of proper access, adequate education, lack of access to proper healthcare services, on the one hand, and also taking into account also the issues of climate-induced conflicts, like deforestation, and other consequences of climate change that also helps to exacerbate these conflicts. And then on the other hand, beyond just deploying additional troops, the response, a more effective military approach, we want that improves coordination between the members of the armed forces, whether it's the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army, all of whom have special operatives in the region. An approach could be the establishment of a joint special operations command that makes it more effective in terms of coordination and response for rapid deployments, to addressing some of these issues. And that way, the military might have better results. And then on the other hand, there's the need for more collaboration, on actionable intelligence, whether it's through human intelligence or through signals intelligence with the intelligence agencies. Apparently, there seems to be a gap in this area. Until these issues are brought together and properly addressed, then the situation in the region might continue